10 years ago, I lost my mother. She left behind a lifetime of quiet, steady lessons about how to fix what's broken in the world. This campaign, this entire effort to rebuild the way our local government works, is a letter to her. It's a direct attempt to take those lessons and put them into practice. To understand what's broken, you have to look at the political machinery of Sumter County, Florida. There is a deep geographic fault line here. In the north, you have massive, sprawling development. In the south, you have quiet, dispersed rural communities. The friction comes down to a structural flaw called an at-large voting system. In an at-large system, local commissioners aren't elected just by the specific neighborhood they represent. They are elected by the entire county population. This creates a mathematical trap. When one dense voting block exists in the north, the voting power of the rural south is diluted to a fraction of a percent. A politician looking to win an election is heavily incentivized to cater almost exclusively to that northern block. When rural roads crumble or local services disappear, it isn't an accident. It is the predictable, mathematical output of a system designed to prioritize the loudest, largest block in the room. You can see the symptoms of this system failure at the heart of Florida landfill. Families living near the facility are being woken up at 3 a.m. by toxic, burning odors. The smell is so dense it triggers nausea, agonizing headaches, and severe asthma flare-ups for kids trying to sleep in their own beds. When these residents ask for help, the current leadership offers no tracking and no hard deadlines. People are told to submit paperwork and hope something happens, effectively dropping their health concerns into a bureaucratic void. The exact same dynamic plays out with our infrastructure. On County Road 747, there were 25 crashes in a 31-month window. It's a rural school bus route. Yet critical safety upgrades were delayed for years, pushed back while staff studied alternatives without a proactive champion on the board. A flawed voting structure paired with reactive politicians generates a very real toll. We call it the cost of silence. And right now, that cost is being paid entirely by the health, the safety, and the sanity of rural families. My mother taught me that when a system is failing your neighbors, you don't stop at complaining, you engineer a fix. To combat the landfill crisis directly, our campaign designed a comprehensive community toolkit. It's a ground-up roadmap built entirely on existing Florida law. The toolkit does one specific thing. It teaches residents how to translate the vague complaint of "it stinks" into highly documented, legally actionable evidence of health impacts. It gives them log sheets and exact statutory language. Armed with organized data, citizens can corner the specific state agencies that hold actual legal authority over landfill leachate. Leachate is the contaminated liquid that drains from a landfill, posing a severe threat to our underground drinking water aquifers. This campaign delivers legal and structural weapons directly to a disenfranchised community, providing the specific leverage required to force a response. Defending our homes is step 1. Step 2 is proactively taking control of the county machinery. I operate on a framework called the 7 levers of leadership. Lever number 2 is project bundling. Instead of treating every road or drainage repair as a random, isolated fragment, a proactive leader packages contiguous projects into a single contract. This cuts down on procurement overhead, saves taxpayer dollars, and accelerates the construction timeline. Lever number 6 is recurring status accountability. This means establishing hard 30, 60, and 90-day progress updates. It eliminates the political habit of saying, "We'll get back to you," and letting a critical safety project die in vague committee discussions. Applying these levers changes the nature of the job. A commissioner moves from a passive observer of staff reports to a relentless systems manager. True leadership leaves a paper trail. It is measured by the creation of transparent dashboards and hard accountability loops, so the public never has to guess where their tax dollars are going or when a job will be finished. But spreadsheets and policy levers are only half the equation. You have to look at the human element. Take the initiative to revitalize Croom Park. In city planning, parks are frequently treated as luxury amenities. They are the nice-to-have green spaces you build only after the roads are paved and the water lines are connected. In an isolated rural community, that logic fails entirely. A safe, accessible park is critical infrastructure. It provides a baseline for mental health, a safe walking path for elders, and a secure developmental space for children who otherwise have nowhere to play. When government maintains these shared physical spaces, they create the literal common ground where neighbors interact. People from different streets share the same field, and that visibility begins to rebuild trust. Investing in rural parks yields a direct return on investment. It repairs the civic trust and community cohesion that decades of systemic neglect have slowly eroded. This entire campaign operates on one defining philosophy, drawn straight from my mother's life. I am not offering you a sales pitch. I am offering you a return to the original instructions. Those original instructions are simple: demand absolute transparency, enforce strict accountability, and fiercely protect the community's most vulnerable residents. We have the blueprints to fix the machine. Doing so is how I honor the woman who taught me how to build in the first place. Fixing this broken system restores the voice, safety, and dignity of the neighbors who call Sumter County home.